man, what's going on? What's going on? You're tuning into the One Mic Music Network live for you and yours and everybody and theirs. What's going on, people? Thanks for coming on to the show. I got some callers in right now. I'm going to let my caller in. First caller in. What's going on? What's your name? Where you from? And what you got going on?
Hi, my name is Justin. Um, from the Midwest, repping Wisconsin, the 920 area code. I run a TV show called Underground Vision. I've interviewed the likes of Cut Calhoun and Do or Die, Crucial Conflict, as well as a handful of others. Uh, I'm somebody that's well known in the Chicago hip hop scene as a videographer and an event promoter, as well as a booking agent. Been around. I've been in this game for about 15 years. Seen and
That's
done a
what's
lot.
up.
Met a lot of people.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Man, thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate I really do, man. You know, I always appreciate your time, Justin from Wisconsin. Shout outs to Wisconsin. Right now, we're gonna be letting you know what's going on with him. How can we find you on social media in case people want to get out there?
You can find my Instagram at UMVTV. You can find me on Facebook at DJ Midwest Bad Boy. You can find my TV show on Rumble. You can find it on BitChute. You can also see it on Comcast if you're in Waukegan or McHenry counties in northern Illinois.
Shout outs to Wisconsin. All right, we got somebody else on the line right now. Hey man, tell them where you from, tell them your name, tell them what you got going on.
On everybody, I'm repping Philly, PA all day. Shit, you know, what's going on with you, Jay? How you doing, bro?
All right, all right. So tell them what you doing, man. Anything you want to promote, anything you want
Uh,
to say, any shout
I,
outs you want to
I,
drop?
I, shout out everybody in Philly, man, and check it out. The new album, Philmatic 2.0, doing very good. You can get that on all platforms. Plus, the Bombay version featuring Ghostface Killer is out. Uh, that's on all platforms as well. Also, we got I got the called Art of War. I mean, the War of Art album coming in January. It features everybody from the Woo, man. So it's gonna be a banger, man.
Hmm.
Yo, man, shout outs to Philly, man. Shout outs to Pennsylvania. Shout outs to you, man. Shout outs to Killer Swift. Thanks for coming on. But hey, man, right now we're about to talk about some serious stuff right now. So I made a post and I don't really be getting a lot of Justin's time. And I really wanted to get his input on what he thinks is going on with the whole list, the Diddy list, the Epstein list, and you know why they like holding that back? What's going on? Why the feds ain't just letting everybody know who's on the list already? Like, what's going
Well,
on with that, Justin? What you think?
So, so my take is this. Okay, there's a lot of powerful people that are named on Epstein's list. There's a lot of powerful people that are named on Diddy's list. There's former presidents like Obama and the current Vice President Kamala Harris that's been seen at these Diddy parties. They supported him. They talked about how there ain't no party like one of his parties, all that jazz, just like everybody else that's been there. Now, if you really want to find out the dirt, Jaguar Wright be spilling it all over social media. But she ain't the only one. There's plenty of others that just don't talk about it, but be dropping stuff and dropping little pictures and whatnot. And there's little breadcrumbs along the way that people be seeing. But me personally, I think the reason that a lot of this ain't dropped is because you got people that are very high up in the political rankings and the political system that are making sure that this doesn't come out. Like you have a lot of powerful people putting a lot of money behind this to protect their own investments. And if you know anything about the music industry, everything is smoke and mirrors. Ain't anything authentic anymore. All these motherfuckers are just a bunch of studio gangsters talking a bunch of shit that they never lived. And then when they get charges and RICO indictments, they come crying like a little bitch about all this shit that they just made this up and we ain't really doing all this. Ask Lil Durk, that punk ass little fucker, on some bullshit. But that's a whole nother realm. Like we have so many people that are on this list. It's ridiculous. Like obviously there's Puffy, there's Jay-Z, there's Beyonce. Them motherfuckers is gonna drop too real quick. Like there's so many different people that are on this list that stand no chance once this all becomes public. Like Obama was on this list, Diddy on this list, Jordan's on this list, Prince Albert's on, or Prince Charles is on this list. Like you talking the royal family, they on this list. Like this just goes so deep and so far, and this is just a little sample. This is just a little tiny part of the honeypot that this has been going on for some years. And Diddy learned the same thing Epstein did. That if you want to keep yourself a free man, you got to have leverage on all the right people, especially when you're doing dirt like what he was doing. So when you think about it, all these people that be trying so hard to get Kamala into power, you know why they doing that? To save their own ass, because they a bunch of pedophiles and sick motherfuckers. But that's that's the truth. People ain't gonna tell you that because they don't want you to know the truth. That's just the way it works, man. Like the powers that be are pulling strings to protect a handful of people because there's so many people that are involved in all of this. But I can tell you who ain't on that list, and that's Trump. He ain't part of none of this. And when he went and after and told everybody about how they gonna take down all these sick fucks when he got in the presidency a little over 6 years ago, he was telling everybody how they're gonna take down all the human traffickers. They were gonna take down the central bank, and they were gonna take down all the illegals and stop the illegal immigration. Well, if you know anything about how this criminal enterprise works, that's the three main reasons and three main focuses of income for this criminal enterprise that's been running this illegitimate government for the last 100 years. It wasn't until we got one person, one guy who says, "I'll take all the slings and arrows you can throw at me, and I'm going to tell everybody the truth." And they tried to pop this motherfucker 3 times. Like, think about it. They tried to kill Trump 3 different times already because he's not part of their club. He don't want part of their club, and he ain't interested in any of their money because it all comes with a price.
Hey,
Damn.
I look
You
at it
know,
like this. I look at it like this. I think all this shit ain't nothing but a big distraction to what's really going on. They want you to focus on Diddy. They want you to focus on Trump. They want you to focus on Kamala. Why? Because there's a bigger agenda going on behind it, man. They want
Yeah,
it.
they about to rip everybody off and centralize everything.
Right.
If the right things don't fall into place, we're all fucked. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah. I mean that's how I put it, man. It's a distraction. Um,
Oh yeah,
I mean,
everything's a
I follow
distraction.
politics. I
I,
follow
I, I
politics.
do want to make I
Yeah.
want to say something though. Now I remember when Justin was talking about that everybody was gonna get locked up, and this was like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. He was saying this stuff. He's like, Jay, everyone's gonna get locked up. Watch. And I'm like, what are you talking about, locked up? He goes, oh yeah, watch. Everyone's gonna get locked up. Everyone's gonna start getting in trouble. You're gonna see. Watch. And like he said it, and I'm like, okay, and I'm listening to him. I'm like, all right, let me see. And then boom, it just starts happening. Jeffrey Epstein, and then all the Weinstein, then the Diddy, then the now the what's the new one? The new fashion designer. What's his name? Freaking whatever, him too, he ended
That
up
guy.
getting pinched. So all I'm saying is this: look, I like when I bring Justin on because I don't know, for some reason he'll be able to tell you what's about to happen again. Like you got to really pay attention to this guy. Like something is shifting in the world, and
The
they're
whole
trying
consciousness,
to
man.
Yeah, they're trying to, create this thing. But here's what I say about justice stuff. I'm saying that this whole Trump thing, you know, I don't know, it's just not looking good. It's not looking good right now with him. That's it. It's not looking good.
I don't know. I think you got 90% of the country that's behind him right now, and you got 10% that are a bunch of idiots that don't understand that Kamala is just a fucking puppet that does what she's told, just like any other prostitute that you pay. She ain't good for shit. She ain't done a fucking thing, and she ain't about to do shit. All she does is cackle and lie. And that coke that they found at the White House, well, that was for Kamala, but they don't want to tell you that. And it wasn't for Hunter. Hunter was turning state's evidence, trying to save his own ass. That's why a lot of this shit came out, because Hunter was trying to save his own life. Because if you understand the level of corruption that he was involved in, and understand that he was the fall guy for Joe Biden, for all the corruption, it all leads back to Hunter, because Hunter was his front man out there doing deals for influence. And that's treason right there. But the thing is that you had to give 10% to the big guy. Well, that was his pops, and that shit still don't register with a lot of people. They still can't comprehend that the president of the United States, number one, wasn't really the president of the United States. If you follow military background and military symbolism, a three cannon salute is what he got on inauguration day 4 years ago. And let me tell you, that three cannon salute is a tribute to a foreign dignitary that has passed. That has nothing to do with anything presidential. So when you start going down that rabbit hole and you start finding all the symbolism and all the things that are going on, you start understanding that all the news you see on the media is all bought and paid for by the central banks and the fucking corrupt assholes that run everything. So you have to turn that shit off, because it's all fake. Ain't nothing truthful on any mainstream media source. Ain't none of it true. It's all bought and paid for by Reuters. I can say this. I went to broadcasting school. I have a degree in audio video production. I went to school in Chicago. Literally, you get a script from Reuters that tells you exactly what you have to say verbatim, word for word, on a teleprompter that you read. And that's all you get. You don't get any license, any creative license to talk about anything. You have to follow everything by the script. And when you understand that the news is paid for by the people in the central banks that are enslaved and stupid enough to not understand the financial system that we understand is to be, and it's not what it is. It's not really what we think it is. It's our money, our Federal Reserve notes are nothing more than IOUs. They're a debt instrument. They are used as an instrument to show that money is owed to you. And once you start understanding that all the currency in the world is nothing but an IOU, because the Fed runs everything, they took away everybody's ability to print money. So when you can't pay back a debt with IOUs, so the Federal Reserve comes and conquers your country and takes over all its wealth and steals everything and says, well, until you can pay us back, you're not allowed to print your own money. You have to take ours. So that's the big distraction, what they're trying to keep you from. Because if everybody understood that the entire economic system all over the world is about to collapse because it's a giant Ponzi scheme, and everybody's been playing into this Ponzi scheme for almost 100 years, and every 100 years they need a reset, because something needs to be done, because there's no more money left in the world. Everybody's been tapped out and borrowed against. That's why we have a birth certificate. That's why we have social security numbers. We are the debt. We are the insurance on the debt. They use us and our earnings to pay back this debt. But if you understand bankruptcy law and you understand the big picture, we shouldn't even be paying any taxes anymore. We shouldn't be paying this debt, because when we went bankrupt for the second time in World War II, all debts were forgiven. We were never supposed to have to pay back any debt anymore because it was forgiven. But we keep paying taxes. We keep giving them money. And if that system collapses, their whole power structure collapses. They can't have that. So they need constant distractions to keep everybody on their toes and distracted and frustrated and angry and divided. Because imagine if 80 million people decided all in the same day, fuck it, we're not going to work. We're not paying your fucking taxes. We're not playing into your fucking game anymore. Imagine that kind of level of unity. Imagine what that would do to their system. It would collapse it overnight. If everybody in the world said, we're not buying anything today, we're not going to buy anything. We're going to stockpile on all of our gasoline. We're going to stockpile on all our food. We're going to buy all our food from local farmers instead of the grocery store. We're going to take care of all of our own and be self-sufficient. Their whole system would collapse.
Yeah, bye Walmart.
Oh, Walmart would be folded up in a. You have a system where if everybody in the world decided we're just going to boycott every big name store and deal with everything locally, this huge infrastructure that they have created for us would disintegrate within 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
We could literally take back the economic system if everybody in America was smart enough to not only be self-sufficient, but to be able to be economically fiscal and understand that we don't need to constantly waste our money on stupid shit to impress people that don't have anything. Like, I know that's probably not going to win a whole lot of awards or much favor by saying it that way, but think about it. The clothes we wear, the stuff we buy, it's all to impress people. It's always to give an image or a persona. Imagine if we cut through the bullshit and just got real. Like, think about it. How much better would this world be if we weren't always trying to fucking one up each other and trying to do better than the next guy and try to shit on the next guy? Imagine if everybody was just like, hey, look, I'll help you out if you help me out, and we can work together. Imagine how different this culture would be in America if everybody was actually unified instead of constantly bickering about, oh, you don't do this and you don't do this. Like, there's people that are less fortunate and there's people that are very fortunate that have a lot of things. I'm not in either real category. I'm not anywhere but in the middle. Like, yeah, I have my own home, I have vehicles, but I got to work 50 hours a week to fucking keep that going, just like everybody else. Everybody's struggling because the reward and the payoff for hard work is more taxes and more debt and them taking more from you. Now think about that for a minute. Just let that sink in. The harder we work, the more we're penalized.
And that's all we have for this show right now. I want people to really think to themselves, is this all an illusion? Is this